Hello everyone and welcome back to my Let's Play of Dragonyhm. In the last episode we went into Gone Red Forest and gathered the Gone Shrooms, as well as rescued Lola. In this episode we're going to go back to Gone Red Forest to finish up a puzzle, and then we'll be turning in some quests and finally grinding to level 20 before entering Bone Shackle Basin. I do not know the species. Please do not ask. Are you serious with that? Matt, come on. I panicked. Janessa deviated from the plan, and you of all people went along with it. Yes, and I'm sorry. I understand where she's coming from. It would be a lot for young Chris to take, and he is innocent in all this. Sooner or later, that kid's got to know about his destiny. Agreed, though. Blastel, I don't recall interjecting to tell him either. Yeah, you're right about that. Next time. Alright, so if you remember in the last episode, before we entered the forest, there's a path off to the right that leads to the lake, and there's a rock formation that we want to have a picture of. The reason for this is the puzzle that we will be doing needs to mirror this rock formation. So we're going to make our way through Gone Red Forest again. And head back to the area where we rescued Lola. And pass these two trolls till we get to here. So kicking around this rock down here, we want to mirror that rock formation in the lake. And if you've been playing this game and doing any of the puzzles, you may have noticed that when you kick around the rocks, they're not always a single square. Sometimes you can move them half squares at a time. Just let me get all the way around here. Sounded as if a hatch opened somewhere nearby. If we go check, that door is now open. So we can just fast travel out of Gone Red Forest. And grab that trading card. Next, we want to go to this house and talk to this guy. What do you say? Fair trade for a top quality gone red wood bundle? Yes. Handed over the sandwich. Well, shucks. Thanks a ton. Here, I chopped it just this morning. We also want to talk to the fisherman over here. It's been delivered? Great, thanks again. So how was the old codger? Miserable as usual? Well, anyway, as promised, your reward. It's this little fella right here. Quaxels make great fishing companions. I was gifted this one a while ago, but I'm more of a traditionalist, see? I prefer standing at the open water's edge with my fishing rod out. You'll take it, won't you? Take the Quaxel. Whenever you see a fish jumping in and out of the water, that's a good spot to let your Quaxel go for a swim. This one's well trained. It'll gulp all it can and bring it back to you. Receive the Quaxel. And we want to stop by in this house and let him know that we got his Quaxel as well. Well done, young Chris. You've reunited us with our beloved Mr. Wiggles. Not knowing what to do in the meantime, I fashioned some rope. Perhaps it could be of some use to you. And with that, we have the final component of our raft. So we can head over to the blacksmith. Or sorry, the woodworker. Oh, that's right. We need to head to the blacksmith first. And then get the nails made and then head to the woodworker. You found the scallion ore. I never doubted you for a moment. You can hand that over to me. This won't take too long. Gave the scallion ore to the blacksmith. Receive the nails. Be sure to put those nails to good use. You've got everything we need for the raft? Alrighty, set them all down behind me and I'll get right to it. Here you are, a sturdy raft for your nautical needs. This will make water traversal an obstacle of the past. Smooth sailing, Captain Chris. Alright, so now with the raft we have the water pathways opened up to us. If you want to collect all of the Quaxels, the first thing you might want to do is go down here and pet this guy. So now we have a couple of different places we can go. We can go up to the north here, where there's a bunch of Quaxels. We can go to the south, where there will be a riddle and an old man in the house. So let's go ahead and grab this Quaxel as well. And grab this one. I should note that later in the game, you will have some enemies that are in these water areas. So if you want to collect the Quaxels, it's probably easier to do that now. Also, you could tell by the fish jumping here that we have a fishing spot. So let's head to the south here. We can go all the way left and there's another fishing spot as well as a Quaxel. Pet that guy. And then head east. Get one more Quaxel up here. And first thing, I'm going to talk to this old man in the house here. Oh, a young aspiring sailor, have we? Setting out for the capital? Well, true, there used to be a wharf here, about 15 years ago. You don't see many dare depart from River Norag anymore. The assault on the Behemoth, Rurvim, left a lot of debris at Norag's Maw, where the river flows into the Irg. Norag will be eating boulders for millennia to come. If you want to arrive on the Isle of Origin intact, I suggest waiting for the ferry in Dorgantown. No, that's not making any sense. Chris, fancy seeing you here. It's me, Audrek. I suppose you're out looking for Curtis. If I happen to see him, I'll notify your mother. You must be wondering what I'm doing here in this challenge den. Why, I'm taking a crack at it myself. I recently discovered some ancient script beneath the tiles. Indeed, this cave is not a natural formation. Not entirely, anyway. There are a handful of different scripts to be found in ancient relics, like this across Arkend. The script beneath me is not too uncommon, but it's rather complex. In some ways, it feels like the ancients were ahead of us. Of course, this, as I'm sure you'll recognize, is just our familiar Arkendi alphabet, both classical and modern styles, numerals too. I inscribed it myself just for convenient reference. If you ever forget your own language, you can come back here. You're serious. You find it familiar? It looks just like Arkendi to you? Come on, Chris. Now you're just pulling my leg, unless... Did I overlook something? Could they be somehow related? So the way that you solve this puzzle is there is a translation from Arkendi to English alphabet in the instruction manual that was provided with the Dragonyhm game, assuming you got a physical copy. So, once this is all translated, the sentence is, touch the stone where the Norag meets the Irg. And what that means is we need to touch this stone right here. A familiar presence can be felt nearby. And we go back inside, and we have our next dragon scale. Chris, something up here in the corner. Did you do something? It's just a dragon scale, but why would that be here? Really? You just did what the script said? So you really can read it that easily, huh? Admittedly, I'm a little jealous. Despite how long I've been translating scripts like this, it remains an arduous process. Perhaps once you've found Curtis, you can enlighten me on how you manage this. I think I'll take a break for now and head back to Dorgantown. Best of luck, Chris. So if you see these areas that are marked by darker water, you'll be able to access those eventually when you obtain another suit of armor. But for now, we can't do anything with those. The next thing we want to do for our main story is enter Bone Shackle Basin. However, I do want to show an area up to the north here, out on the lake, where we can do a little bit more exploration before going in there. So we have another Quaxel here. And then there are two paths. I'm going to take the one to the south first. And here we have another Quaxel, as well as some NPCs to talk to. Our home in Gonrad village was destroyed during the war. That red-winged terror burned everything black in the landscape. Now we have the opposite problem. An uncanny wave of growth brought plentiful flowers to Nadrog's clutch, but also many new trees. Just a week ago, standing where you are now, you wouldn't have been able to see any trees. We cut some down, and by the next morning they'll have replaced themselves. And then some. First there were dragons, but now it's as though the world itself wants us gone. If we head this way, we can pet another Quaxel. And we have another NPC to talk to here. Sai, what are we to do? Used to be able to just walk on up to the Modretro Highlands from here. But all these new trees have made it impossible without Noko fodder. For the livestock, I'm not sure they'll fatten up enough to survive the winter. If we head south here, there will be some more NPCs to talk to. I used to be able to jump across to that small plateau and then again over to Mount Nadrog, but then all these new trees started coming in, and now I can't even get up to the ledge. You don't believe me? I swear it. I'm a lot more athletic than I look. We moved here from Gonrad, but now the trees are catching up with us. I want to go to the Nodra Fields again. They have a new maze every year. Also, if you see here, there's another Quaxel that we won't be able to access yet. But keep note of that. And now we can head up the northern waterway. And up here we have another house. The crimson-haired fellow, yes? He did some sailing down the river Gondar not so long ago toward the Dragonyhm Firth. Rest assured, he could hardly be further north. Even the ought to know that no one makes it back from the Garosia above. And another Quaxel to pet. So here we have a diver's hut that we won't be able to access yet. And so with that, the only thing we have left is to grind up to level 20 and enter the Bone Shackle Basin. So that's where I'll go ahead and end this episode. I'll do the grinding off screen. I'm currently level 16 right now. In the next episode, we'll enter Bone Shackle Basin and I'll be around level 20, maybe a little bit higher. But thanks everyone for watching and stay tuned for the next episodes.